Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Dark Match. We are here to talk about the week in WWE programming. As always, am your host, No Leaf Clover, and joining me are.
I'm Duo's Angel.
I'm Lone Warrior.
And I am your foxy friend Backlash, and once again it's time for What is Iron Sheik tweeting now? Ultimate Warrior, you speak with my agent Paige Madgen and set up a match with me, you and Kevin Nash so we can fuck your ass, make you humble.
Fuck, it's his
Yeah,
problem
there'd
with
be a
Ultimate.
match to see.
What is
Ultimate Warrior and
It's
Iron
Ultimate
Sheik in 2012.
It's Ultimate Warrior, do you need an excuse? I've rambled on that man for far too long than it's worth.
I think we just need to accept that Shiki has his people he doesn't like. He doesn't like Hogan. He doesn't like Warrior. He doesn't like the Virgil.
Yeah, she's got some anger management issues. He needs to deal with those.
Yes.
Either that or he's just
Are
fucking
you kidding?
broken.
Are you kidding? If he does that, we're out of material.
Yeah, we're out of crazy people.
Which would be a shame.
At any rate, we're going to kick off the proceedings by talking about Monday Night Raw. So we open up and we see a little hype for Punk and Ziggler, and then we see the highlights from the Kane and Cena segment last week. And then we open the show with John Cena. And what a way to kick off the new year. Same as the old fucking year.
Same old shit.
Is
Same old
anyone
shit.
kind
That's
of
really what this
is anyone kind of annoyed that the WWE title match just gets a minor mention at the beginning of the show, and the one thing they really want to get over is that Cena is feuding with Kane?
What?
Yeah, but
I
I
know.
also have a problem with it not being the main event.
I mean, I know Cena is a big deal in your company, but he's feuding with fucking Kane.
Yeah, and even if it's spiffy, a spiffy quote unquote new Kane, it's still fucking Kane. He'll
Yep.
be he'll be a face within a month, and then
I'm on a
he'll
nostalgia high
2 weeks
right
after.
now. This is the only Kane I've ever known. Old Kane kind of sucked balls. That was, yeah. So, fuck all of you. This is awesome. But yes, it shouldn't still be more important than the championship.
Yeah, so Cena comes out
So
and
what?
he makes some. He basically makes some jokey resolutions, like he's gonna wear less underwear. He's gonna keep his father off of TV, off of WWE programming.
When was the last time John Cena Sr. was on TV?
It was
This
Apparently,
is your
on
life.
John Cena, This Is Your Life. And honestly, that was kind of a fucked up joke.
Hey, I liked it just because I was actually there and it was funny, and I got to see Mick Foley.
And then we, of course, have to get our obligatory once a fucking week reminder that, in case you didn't know, John Cena and The Rock are going to have a match at WrestleMania. You know, in case they're mentioning it 3 million times since they booked the shit, wasn't enough. I suspect that they'll fucking be reminding us about this match after the match has already happened.
Am
I
I the
think
only one
that.
who. Oh, go ahead, Jess.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I'm really beginning to not give a shit about this match.
That's actually what I was about to say. Is they've overblown this so much? There's just I don't care.
You
The
know,
match is gonna come, and it better be fucking amazing. It better be the best wrestling I've ever seen in my life at this point.
you know,
A
I,
year of hype.
for as much as this has been hyped, I feel like when it comes around, that there can't be a winner. What I mean is like, eh, I really don't know how else to say this, but I get the sneaking suspicion that when this match actually happens, it's going to end in a DQ. or go to
No,
a
They
no
won't
contest.
screw
end
us
with
that
Cena.
badly.
It'll end with Cena winning.
No,
It'll either end with Cena winning or Rock will win, and then they'll have to have a return match at SummerSlam, and we'll have to deal with an extra 6 months of this shit.
Either
The way-
goddamn way, it's not gonna be.
no, they're in love with this so much. They're gonna have it be. It's gonna go to a no contest double count out or something, and the next night on Raw, I was like, "See you next year." Okay.
Ah!
It's the problem. I said when they first booked the match. It's like no one really. Even if Cena wins, he doesn't really win because he doesn't need the rub of beating The Rock. He's beaten enough people that it's like it's not that big a deal, and The Rock doesn't really need to wrestle. And then they completely blew their load because it'd be one thing if it was the first match that The Rock had back, but they had him show up and wrestle at Survivor Series. So now it's not even the nostalgia high of finally seeing The Rock back in the ring. It's just like, oh, it's another fucking match.
The only way that this could work, especially with the Cena win, is they're gonna have to just fucking have Cena lose for like a month. Just the entire build to this match should be Cena losing horribly.
No.
I know that something similar. I know that something similar was brought up back when this was booked. That Cena should lose the title so he can have something to fight for. And that's what it should be. Is that this should have Cena being fucking desperate for a win. Especially this, it should be at a point where losing here could just destroy him. Because that'd be good
He's not going to have an existential crisis because he lost to The Rock.
I don't know. Well, this is what it's. Okay, we have to get off of this, but it's a triggering kind of thing. You build and you build and you build and you build, and then it's just that one last fucking thing, and you're just broken.
No, they're gonna keep doing the same thing that they always do with Cena. He's always gonna win. He's always gonna be upbeat and happy, even if he doesn't win. This match is gonna happen, no matter what the outcome. Nothing will come of this. It'll be a match. It'll hopefully be a good match, but that'll be it.
Yeah.
So, at any rate, Cena says one thing won't change in 2012, and that's he will remain who he is, and his convictions are true.
What did I
Basically,
just say?
every time basically what this promo is, every time they try and fool us into thinking that they're going to add an extra dimension to Cena's character, they're like, derp-de-doo, we fooled you.
Am I the only one? I suppose we'll get to it later. We can save this for the end of the show, but
Well, Cena says that Kane wants him to turn his back on the fans, but he's not going to do that ever. And he's going to start the year by doing like he does every year, I guess, by thanking fucking fan. Oh, god damn it. I know Vince likes white hats, but fucking seriously, can Cena grow some balls? Please. I don't even want him to turn heel. All I want him to do is just one night come out and say, you know what? Fuck you. I bust my ass. I break my neck. I'm constantly injured. Fuck you if you don't like me. I love the people that do like me, but if you don't like me, fuck you. That's all I fucking want.
he has said that though.
No, he hasn't.
He hasn't gotten pissed off about it, no, but his entire attitude up to this point has been, you love me, you hate me, you hate me. You don't have to go through life being pissed off at the haters. As someone who could give less than a shit about anyone who doesn't like me, sometimes you just gotta let it fucking go.
But the thing is
that is a healthy way to go through life, is to just ignore the people that hate you.
Well, that
Fuck them.
might be a healthy way to go through life, but it doesn't make for compelling television.
Yeah, it doesn't make for
Well,
good
that's why
story
they
or
have
growth.
other things like him being stalked by the fucking devil, apparently.
Here, I can just summarize this in one word. I'm never gonna turn bad, Kane. Yeah, you are.
Eh.
That was more than one word.
I said
It
summarize.
was.
I might not.
You said
God,
summarized one word.
shit, really?
Yes.
This is gonna be a long night.
It really is.
Uh, so
And
so
can't.
Kane's music hits and he tells Cena to embrace the hate. And Cena and Kane laughs maniacally, and his pyro goes off, and Kane is laughing, and Cena looks terrified, and it's just so fucking silly.
You.
What? What do you do?
It's fucking wrestling. Of course, it's silly. This
Well,
entire.
it's sillier than
No, no,
usual.
no, no. I'm sorry. It's wrestling. I love it. I have for I have for a while now. But it's always gonna be goofy as shit. Always. And you know what? That's okay. That's just kind of how professional wrestling is. It's kind of goofy. They run with that. They embrace that. This is why it's enjoyable. This is why I can. Nah.
At any
Never mind.
rate,
Don't worry about it.
Cole and Lawler hype up Punk and Ziggler, and we get our last and final "It Begins" promo. Dun dun dun.
Huzzah!
And
Hooray,
we
this
come
is
back
good.
from commercial. Our first match of the night is Daniel Bryan versus Cody Rhodes.
I think this is further proving that, in case it wasn't obvious, the freaking draft. Well, no, it is the Super Show. Damn,
Yes.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say the draft. If it wasn't already dead, it's fucking dead.
It pretty much
I
is
mean,
dead.
the brand extension still exists. I guess they just want the SmackDown people on Raw, so it'll continue to help the ratings. If the ratings go up, I'll be surprised if they keep doing this, but
Eh.
you never know. At any rate, Bryan versus Rhodes. Good match. Did you expect anything else? These people would have a bad match?
Well, no, but I have a couple things to say about the ending. Namely, Bryan getting the Kelly victory, as I like to call it.
Well, I don't have a problem with it because I know I kind of know where they want to go with it. They are basically turning Bryan into a tool.
Yeah, they're turning him into Miz 2.0.
Well, no, I don't think they're turning him into the
No,
Miz.
they are. We'll talk more about it when we get to SmackDown, but that's really how it's coming off to me.
Honestly, if I were to make a comparison, I'd say it's closer to Christian.
Yeah, I don't think he's becoming Miz. I think he's just being a tool. But we'll get to that when we go to when we get to
Yeah,
SmackDown.
we'll save that for later.
But after the match, and Bryan celebrates, and he's going on the rant screaming, "Yes! Yes! Yes! Yes!" the entire way. We're turning him into such a tool, and I love it. We cut backstage, and Johnny Laurinaitis, the executive vice president of talent relations, and the interim general manager of Monday Night Raw, is backstage texting, and Miz walks in, and John Laurinaitis says, "Look, I don't know. I don't like what R-Truth did last week. It was unprofessional." And Miz is like, "Well, why don't you do something about it?" He's like, "Well, because you were kind of a dick to him first," which was the basis of it. They show the footage of Miz beating the fuck out of Truth, and Johnny Ace basically says, "I'll have people look out for Truth, but pretty much you're on your own because you started it, essentially." And then Miz walks out, and as he walks away, R-Truth walks out, and he starts flapping his arms and quacking like a duck?
No,
Okay,
I'm sorry. That worked.
No, it's official. It's official. R-Truth is the Eric Young of WWE.
Yes. Only there's enjoyable things, without him around. But he
Yeah.
does come in to make things just that much better.
Uh,
Yeah, on the other hand, though, I'm not really. Part of me just doesn't like the fact that he's gone face with this.
Well, it might be a thing where they have him feud as a face for a little while, and then once he's done with the Miz, he'll go back to being a heel. They could always do that.
Yeah, keep in mind, he's fucking crazy. They can make him do whatever they want at this point.
Yeah.
It's the benefit of being crazy.
So, we come back from the commercial and we get a video looking at the 1988 Royal Rumble, the first ever Royal Rumble, which was really not that fucking good. If you've ever watched it, I have. It's kind of a clusterfuck and then some. But no matter. It was just for a useless piece of trivia. It was won by Hacksaw Jim Duggan. So, yeah, they're what you need to know about that.
Yeah,
Anyways,
you can tell they're definitely getting their hype machine ready for the Rumble, because that's the only time they ever do this.
yeah.
And of course, there's
So,
always that one they're not going to mention.
you mean the one where he who shall not be named won?
Ooh,
Yeah,
Lance
the one
Storm?
where no, it's
Yeah,
Bob
that guy.
I thought it
Yeah,
was Bob
sure.
Holly.
They should just give all his title rings to Lance Storm. They should officially do that.
If anyone needs the rub.
But we come back from commercial, and our match is Wade Barrett versus Santino Marella. And we see footage of Wade Barrett tossing Randy Orton down the steps. And Barrett says he doesn't care what anyone else's New Year's resolution about anyone's New Year, but it's already been a good 2012 for him because it's a year without Randy Orton. He hasn't seen this movie before.
Dumbass.
And Barrett says, I'm looking forward to winning the Royal Rumble. God, I hope not. And then main eventing WrestleMania. I hope that happens. If that happens, I will fucking quit. I will tap out. No, just no.
No. No, they're not
so-
giving it to
Yeah, we know that's not gonna fucking happen.
We could probably go over who we think is going to win the Rumble this year later in the show, but
Yeah.
his opponent is Santino Marella, and do you really even have to ask who wins this one?
It's a squash.
Oh, I figured Santino would have won.
It's a squash.
I don't care if it's a squash, considering what happened on SmackDown. Then again,
No,
that was
this match was a
also-
squash. What happens later on SmackDown, that's completely different.
No. I just mean, yeah, this was a squash match, but at least they give Santino something later.
Yeah.
And
We
so,
mentioned brand separation.
Great.
Barrett wins.
We mentioned brand separation. I'll have more to say about that when we get to SmackDown. But yeah, Barrett wins.
Barrett wins with his wins, and now we got backstage, and the Bella Twins are being the Bella Twins. They're fighting with each other. The Miz comes up and goes, "Hey, have you guys seen R-Truth?" And they're like, "Oh no, but we've seen little Jimmy." And
Uproarious laughter, because
walks
that's
off.
just so funny.
Yeah, and
Miz
walks
also
off.
says, you know what? I'm glad Alberto Del Rio got hurt, which I guess because the Bellas are like, I don't know, phoning him or something.
That certainly seemed to have an effect.
I don't know.
God, is that what he said? I didn't even fucking hear him.
Yeah, he's like, by the way, I'm glad Alberto Del Rio got hurt, and they're all like, oh! We suck his dick for a living. How dare you?
Could be why they keep him around. But anyway, he hears, he leaves and he stops because he thinks he hears something. He's like, walks off. He walks off, and right after he does, R-Truth pops out again. And it's like, God damn it. This is going to be a comedy thing, isn't it?
What's wrong with that?
No, I mean, I don't know. This has been a weird...
You think Miz should be doing something better?
Yes.
Yeah, that's true, but
Uh,
I'll take what I can get. This is at least a funny comedy bit that they're doing. I mean,
oh yeah, it works. We have to give them that. But I'll admit, I'll be happy. I'm not gonna be sad when it's over and Miz goes back to, doing something other than getting his ass kicked. But for now, it's his time.
Yeah.
So, up next is Sheamus versus Miz, and yeah.
This isn't even. It's not even Sheamus versus Miz because it's not even a match. Basically, Sheamus comes out first, and then Miz comes out, and before the bell even rings, he just drops Sheamus with the DDT. They just like fucking brawl and brawl and brawl some more. And Miz, being the chicken shit he is, after he started the fight, decides to go out the ring and try and run through the crowd. But guess who's there? It's R-Truth. Truth is at the top of the steps. He said, "You know what? While watching your match, I ran into Little Jimmy. Little Jimmy says he don't like the Miz, and he needs to get got." So Truth walks down the steps, and basically they fight.
well, no,
Sheamus
Miz jumps back over the barrier and walks right into a brogue kick.
Yeah.
And then Sheamus basically goes, that'll do, and
Yep,
walks away
I'm
and
done.
lets Miz get his ass kicked.
Yeah.
And then we just get R-Truth giving the mic to a little Jimmy in the audience, and this confused kid, all he has to say is, "Happy New Year!"
And you just know that this poor kid in his head, it sounded like a decent enough one-liner, and God bless him. He
And now
tried.
we are making fun of him on the internet.
He tried.
Stupid kid!
Shut up, Chris.
So, after this, go backstage, and Josh Matthews is talking with Ziggler and Guerrero and Vicky, and Dolph saying, I pinned Punk last week, and if you've got it, you gotta flaunt it, and nobody flaunts it as well as I do, and everyone should keep their ticket stubs because God darn it, they want to remember the night that they were there, that I became WWE champion for the first time ever.
But they also want to forget the time I was World Heavyweight Champion. Because that was like 5 minutes.
Well, it's still longer than Big Show's.
Yeah.
Not by much, but whatever. I'll actually have more to say about that in a little bit because we're about to get to that match. But next we have Zack Ryder backstage with Eve Torres. And
Because apparently they're together now.
And speaking of World Heavyweight title reigns we'd like to forget, here's Jack Swagger.
Swaggy.
Actually, Duos, you were ranting about this when we were talking about Impact last night, how they never have a main event scheduled in advance. Well, this is about the time when John Laurinaitis decides to book the main event.
Yeah.
I mean, at the very least, Impact has the decency to do it at the beginning of the show.
Well,
at least WWE doesn't make a habit of not having one.
Yeah.
No, I'll be honest. My problem with this segment is they have a main event: Ziggler versus Punk. Nah.
No.
Yeah, that really bothered me when I realized, especially when I realized it was next. It's just like, really, this is gonna be our middle of the night thing.
Yeah, it doesn't involve Cena, so we can't make it the main event.
Which is sad because the WWE Championship match between Dolph Ziggler and CM Punk, as you would expect, was fucking awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, it was. Until we get to the end, which I'm going to talk about. Because here's the end of it. Punk is in the corner, and Ziggler goes for the zigzag, but Punk grabs a turnbuckle pad and manages to stop himself, but he accidentally rips the turnbuckle pad off. So they go back to brawling, and right as Punk's about to hit the GTS, Laurinaitis comes out and starts yelling at the referee like, "Oh, the turnbuckle pad fell off. You're not doing your job. This isn't supposed to be like this." And he's getting up on the apron, and what happens is Ziggler goes to hit Punk behind his back, but he ducks out of the way and slams into Laurinaitis. And then Punk goes for the GTS again, but ends up getting thrown out of the ring, bouncing off the ropes. And Laurinaitis remembers, oh shit, I'm supposed to be holding down the ropes, and you see him frantically grab for them. And Punk falls out, and I guess he knocked his head because you want to talk about fast counts. The referee started counting at 6. Like, no joke.
It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, and the whole time, as soon as I saw him counting with every number, all I could say was, no. They fucking would. No. And
would.
they did.
And then
It's another match where no one can. It's another one of those matches. I hate when they fucking do this. When we talked about it last night with TNA, where they have a match where they don't really want anyone to fucking lose, so they just have one of these finishes. They don't want anyone to lose. They don't want anyone to win by DQ or anything like that. So they have a count out. Though this count out makes more sense because of Punk's deal with Laurinaitis and how Johnny Ace is trying to screw him all the time. So I was okay with it on that front. But still, sometimes I just like, can we have a winner and a fucking loser, please?
yeah, well, this is where I got really confused.
My is exactly that it was Laurinaitis coming out. It's just like, okay, and they'd established already that, that this is how we got here, was Laurinaitis interfered with a match, and that's how Ziggler got number one contendership. Is this just going to be the thing? Is like every CM Punk match going to have Laurinaitis coming out being, interrupting or distracting a ref? Really?
I don't know. It's getting tiresome, but here's where I got really confused, because after they declare Ziggler the winner, he grabs the WWE title belt and he's celebrating like, woohoo, woohoo, I'm the champion, I did it, hooray me. And I was like, wait, I didn't watch Raw last week. Was this a stipulation that if Punk gets DQ'd, Ziggler wins the title?
I was confused too, because at first just like, wait, no, they didn't, because I forget rules of things all the time. So I forgot that, yeah, count out counts as a disqualification, therefore no title change. And he runs off with it, and it's like, wait, they didn't actually say new champion. What the fuck is he doing?
Well,
who screwed up?
Well, what happens is we have to wait till we come back from commercial, and Cole, he's celebrating. He's like, oh, Dolph Ziggler won! Dolph Ziggler's amazing! And then Lawler gets on, well, we have to clarify, this was a disqualification win, so he is not WWE champion. So I'm like, oh, Dolph Ziggler's just a fucking moron!
Well, it's not even that. I mean, it makes sense. He stole the belt, and that's all good and fine. But when all CM Punk is doing in reaction is sitting there looking like he just lost the fucking thing. He did. CM Punk looked like he'd lost the belt. He didn't try and stop him. He just
he didn't say, hey, dickhead, give me my belt back.
He didn't try and send anybody to go get his belt back. He just kind of sat there looking really defeated. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? I mean, I guess we should have seen it coming and should have understand just because we've been watching long enough to not know this shit, but sometimes we're not always going to be paying perfect attention, and people who don't know this shit are going to be really fucking confused.
Well, I'm never a fan of when they do the angle of, oh, the heel stole the belt. It's stupid. It makes
It
everyone
is.
in question look stupid, because what's to stop the
Yeah.
face, especially a guy like CM Punk who doesn't stand for this kind of crap, stop him from just kicking Ziggler's ass?
What I don't understand is why they can have belts for any amount of time. Shouldn't security take it from them?
Yeah, I mean, the WWE title belt, I assume that's a pricey amount of real estate. That should they probably shouldn't be allowing stuff like that to happen. I mean, I know kayfabe and everything, but still.
Well, it's like, CM Punk stole the belt on his way out the door before he was re-signed, and that was a huge goddamn deal. He had the belt, and no
Yeah.
one could get it away from him. So it's a big deal if he takes it when he's no longer with the company. But if you're still with the company and you have to come to work the next week, well, we know where the belt is.
Yeah.
So who cares? It's just, what? But
Well,
moving along.
unfortunately, we haven't reached the absolute epitome of stupid with this angle just yet, because in between what that is, we've got a Bella Twins match.
I
Ah!
like to put forward emotion.
To be fair, this was placed perfectly. This did exactly what it should have done, and it was a nice cool down from that level of bullshit.
Yeah, but on the
Before
other
we get
hand,
to our
it's the
next
Bella
big thing.
Twins.
I'd rather take a short match with people I don't want to see wrestle than a short match with people I'd really like to see wrestle.
Yeah.
If you're gonna give me a bathroom break, it might as well be worth going.
Yeah, Bella Twins versus Kelly and Eve Torres. Bella's win. Nothing really exciting happens. Go figure.
Am I the only one who's fucking sick of twin magic and how no one has figured this out yet?
I
No,
think
you're not the
Eve
only
figured it out once.
It's just, the thing is that, okay, the refs are still falling for it. Fine, I'll take that. Refs are apparently,
Idiots.
you put on the stripes and use like half your brain power. Fine, that's just wrestling. But like, Kelly is distracting the ref. That's something I never understand, is how faces will honestly distract the ref and argue with them, thus giving heels time to do something. You think faces or anyone that wants to be sure to win would know, okay, the ref is telling me to stop doing something. He's not paying attention to the people who are in the ring. I need to back the fuck off so he can do his job and we don't get screwed. No,
See,
I'm...
there you go, using logic again.
Yeah, me and my logic.
Yeah. Well, now we're going to get to the part that really pissed me off, and I'm a little upset that this hasn't pissed off anyone else, because we're backstage with David Otunga and John Laurinaitis, and CM Punk walks in, and he is mad. Laurinaitis says, well, basically, Punk's like, you interfered in my match for the second time in a week, and you almost cost me the title. And Laurinaitis is like, whoa, your problem's not with me. Your problem's with Dolph Ziggler. No, I'm going to give you a match at the Royal Rumble, and just to make sure nothing goes wrong, I'm going to be the special guest referee. Fuck you, WWE. This is the exact same fucking thing you did with Dolph Ziggler last year. It is the exact same angle. You have a corrupt general manager who has a grudge against the champion, wants to get the belt off them, so they're giving special treatment to Dolph Ziggler. The only thing this is missing is to put CM Punk in a blonde wig. This is fucking stupid. It is lazy, and I don't want to see it again. I could put up with it last year, but the fact that they're doing it 2 years in a row just pisses me right the fuck off.
Honestly, the only reason why I'm not upset about it is because I hadn't realized it. I wasn't... I got back into wrestling right at the end of that. As in,
Yeah,
quite literally,
until you
Vicky
mentioned
Guerrero
it,
being fired. The end of it.
until you mentioned it, that hadn't even crossed my mind, which is
Same here.
sad.
So obviously they can get away with it because, damn.
Because none of us remembered it.
Well, probably the only reason I still remember it is because I actually followed that angle because I was actually in the crowd at that Royal Rumble, and I don't know.
No, you're right.
That there's
That's really fucking lazy.
It really is.
You know, things get recycled, but you need to wait more than a fucking year.
And at the same event, no less. God.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. That's
Yeah, you're right.
wow.
Now I feel depressed.
I know. It's just like, son of a bitch. God damn
Moving
it.
on.
Well,
Move
hey,
on to happy things.
yes, happy things. Like what happens next? Because we get one more cryptic video of this It Begins thing. And all the lights go dark. And there's silence. And then, on top of the ring, there's someone in a blinky coat. I'm sorry, I don't know how else to describe that coat. It was blinking. Had blinky lights on it.
And the
I
pyro
love the
goes
coat.
off.
It's ugly as sin, but I like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is back. Y2J, Chris Jericho, makes his return to the WWE.
In quite possibly the weirdest fashion ever.
Well, it's better than the endless hype that his last return got. And
What, save us Y2J?
yeah, and then it was like, well, if they had made it any more goddamn obvious. I mean, even this time it was like, as I'm sure we'll never hear the end of, you know, it was kind of obvious, but it wasn't like, when I'm putting my dick in your face, is it any more obvious yet?
I was kind of... I remember saying this, but that I thought would be kind of disappointed if it was Jericho. I wanted to be surprised and like have it not be someone we were completely and utterly fucking expecting. But there we have it. It was Chris Jericho, and
Well, who else was it gonna
it's
be?
not that I'm sad Jericho's back. I just wish they had done something else.
It's going to be Jericho or Taker.
No, honestly, no, Leaf. Who else was it going to be?
Well, there were signs in the crowd that people were clearly thinking it might be Austin.
It's okay. But that's the thing, is that there aren't that many people that could do a comeback right now, are there? The only ones I can think of are Undertaker still needs to come back, and we'll see him for WrestleMania.
Jericho,
Austin, Rock, who isn't going to be showing up again anytime soon. Kane just came back.
Okay.
How many people do we have on a list that's just like, who the fuck actually has the ability to wrestle
I thought
still?
it was going to be Brock Lesnar because he dropped his fight like a bitch.
Could have been.
At any rate,
so Jericho's, he's really worked up. He comes, you could tell he's really loving being here, being, surrounded by all these fans, just cheering their hearts out for him. Gets into the ring, and he's, playing up to the crowd, and they're still going, yeah, woo, Jericho. And he gets out of the ring, and he starts, slapping hands and talking to the fans, and they're like, yeah, Jericho. And he gets back into the ring, and the crowd starts chanting his name, like, Jericho, Jericho. And they stop, and he, is like, no, keep going. And it's like, welcome back, Jericho, Jericho. And so he's all, he's going to the corners. He's like, yeah, I'm back, woo. It's like, yeah. And he gets back out to the fucking ring, and he gets a sign, and he gets back in the ring, and it's like he was milking the fuck out of this. He grabs a mic, And it's like he's gonna say something. He's gonna say something, and he puts it down, and he gets them to get back to cheering, and the crowd starting to go, "Do something, you asshole!"
People
See,
were. You could tell
that's the thing.
Oh no!
No.
So
You could tell people in the audience were actually kind of starting to get fed up with this. Like people were starting to boo. People were starting to yell, "Get on with it!"
And that's kind of a shame, because honestly, what the fuck was he supposed to say? I'm back. It's good to see, it's good to be back. It's great that you guys still love me. There isn't really anything he could have said aside from if he had any plans to take someone out, if he wanted to start a feud then and there. There's nothing he could have said that wasn't fucking obvious. You don't always need to talk, and this really did work with no words. He was happy to be back. He was really psyched. The audience was fucking losing their minds. It worked. It probably went on longer than necessary, but I do think this worked. Even just sitting at home watching it, I couldn't help but get really excited and be really happy. That's how powerful that was.
yeah, so
But I don't think that was really what he was trying to do. I think he was just trying to be like a heel and a dick.
Honestly,
told us.
I think the whole, like going to talk and then not talking, he was having some fun. I don't think he was trying to be an asshole about it exactly.
No, he trolled us.
I think he was just having fun.
Have you been following?
I think
Twitter, though?
I think it's part of a larger like gimmick.
But have has
It
anyone
might
else
be.
been following his Twitter though? Because he's been getting tons of questions asking like, well, "What was up with your promo? Or are you actually back in the WWE?" And he just keeps saying, "No, no, I'm not back in WWE. What makes you think I'm back?" He's fucking with
See,
us.
that is. Yeah, he's fucking with us, and you know what? More power to him, because it's hilarious.
I think he's gonna be a heel again.
yeah, but
He might.
I think him and Vince had a bet, and Vince was like, "Hey, Chris, I bet you can't go out there on TV. You know you're gonna get a face pop. I bet you can't go out on TV and make people hate you in less than 2 minutes." Okay, we'll see.
oh, that was not 2 goddamn minutes.
Well, less than 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's closer. So, this segment ends with Jericho. He goes back out to the ringside and he's like, yeah, woo. And then he goes up the ramp and he's like, yeah, woo. Bye, everybody.
Yeah,
You
honestly, I kind
feel
of
this-
wish he'd had a mic, just picked it up and went, "Okay, thanks, bye," and then just left.
Yeah, because you could
Because that
literally,
would have been perfect.
you could feel the crowd going, son of a bitch.
Like, really? Oh God.
They were confused. They were really happy and they were cheering. And I did hear boos. Some people did start booing, especially when he left. When he disappeared into the back, the boos really kicked in.
They're like, wait.
But there were still so many
right?
people going, "Hey, he's back!" I think. I'm so happy, but so confused. What the fuck just happened? It was glorious.
My brain hurts.
I wish I could have been there.
Yeah, so, Cole and Lawler, they hype up the main event, which we never did mention what it was. It's an elimination match between Zack Ryder, The Big Show, and John Cena, versus Mark Henry, The Kane, and Jack Swagger. Except, well, as we'll find out, Ryder's Big Show and Cena come out, and Henry and Swagger, they come out too, and Kane's music hits, and no Kane. And his music hits again, and no Kane. And out comes Odunga running like a doofus in a
Bow tie.
bow tie, and he gets in the ring to talk to the ref, and the ref's like, Kane's not going to be participating in this match after all, so it's a handicap match. Go fig.
Somebody's getting their
Because
diva on.
because apparently in the WWE you can just say, "I'm not competing. I'm not going to do my job tonight."
Fuck y'all.
You didn't
I don't know.
that?
He's scary.
That's totally in your standard WWE contract. you have the ability to just not show up and not do what you're paid to do. It's why everyone wants to be in the WWE.
I kind of wish they had just replaced Kane with Otunga, just so he could get punched again.
See, that's what I kind of thought was going to happen when he came running down. It's just like, no way,
Oh,
bait
man.
and switch.
But so Swagger and Cena, they lock up, and blah blah blah. Swagger takes in Henry. They go to commercial. They come back. Swagger's back in the ring. Fuck.
The match
You read
was
verbatim, we have to pimp them.
Big Show gets taken out somehow. Or
No, what happened?
Show and Henry.
What happens is Mark Henry goes to get a chair. Big Show punches it out of its hand, and then decides to use the chair against Henry, and this gets them both disqualified, so they're both eliminated. Because we had to get Henry out of there as quick as possible because he's still injured. If they keep booking him and shit.
Maybe they're afraid that, if he's not on air, everything could be ruined because, he's just going so strong.
He is.
Sure.
And
Whatever the WWE wants to tell themselves. Whatever helps the writers and the people booking sleep at night.
So, it comes down to Ryder and Cena versus Swagger. Surprise, surprise, Swagger loses. And so Ryder and Cena win, and they're in the ring celebrating, like woo woo woo. And all of a sudden, Kane's music hits, and Cena's like, "Holy shit, Kane's gonna come down that ramp." When the fuck does Kane ever come down the goddamn ramp when his music hits like this? So Cena's like, "Dirt, he's gonna come over there," and he gets out of the ring. He goes up the ramp. He's ready to fight Kane, and Kane busts out of the fucking ring, like.
He rips his way through the fucking ring floor like a goddamn demon out of hell, which he is, character-wise.
He takes out Ryder, and he goes after. He gets out of the ring and attacks Cena, and he does this. Whatever the fuck he's doing now, where he grabs him by the face. It's like, meh.
He's suffocating them.
Yeah, he's basically putting his hand over your mouth and nose, but whatever. The end of this is he goes back in the ring and he's like, "Oh, Zack Ryder's gonna get it." So, in the most goofiest way possible, he grabs Zack Ryder by the leg and starts trying to drag him into the hole that is now in the middle of the ring. And in true fashion, Cena jumps back in and grabs Ryder's arm before he gets pulled under and pulls him out. Just as the ring explodes into a ball of flames.
Followed by a small puff
this was glorious.
This was glorious in its cartoonish silliness.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, it's just like, fucking subtle. Kane's dragging him to hell.
Although, I guess this does...
Although, credit to the announcers, they refer to it as the Abyss.
Although, I guess
fucking hell.
Just say
this probably would count as an attempted murder because technically Kane tried to make Zack Ryder explode.
Well, yeah, that was kind of my thought, is that in a much darker thing, like if this was like a show of some kind, I can just imagine Zack Ryder getting dragged down and this is how they killed him off.
I think the important thing we need to realize...
Screaming, and then it would have been really quiet.
I think the thing we really need to realize with this... Sorry, you're okay. The thing we need to realize... Okay.
Who's gonna talk?
The thing we need to realize about this is Kane has Kane, if hell's under the ring, then that means Little People's Court was hell.
Are you surprised?
Not really, but still, it's just great to realize it. Yeah, the other thing it might be is Kane has burnt Little People's Court down. Because flattening it and all the other goddamn stuff that happens under that ring if it hasn't already done that, then this might have done it, and it happened on Raw instead of a pay-per-view.
Maybe it's like the door in Hell's Moving Castle. I'm going to assume I'm the only one who's actually seen that fucking movie. There's a door, and if you turn the dial on it, it will end up opening to different places, like almost different dimensions, but it's just different places around the world. Maybe it's like that. Under the Ring is fucking magic. So there's Little People's Court, there's Hell, and then there's the area where all the crap under the ring, the ladders and the kendo sticks and what have you. It's like 3 separate dimensions, and you can just set it to what you need it.
Yeah,
I think we're overthinking it.
Yeah.
that also makes sense.
There's nothing fucking down there.
Well,
but
we're nerds. We think about this stuff.
we will have an explanation.
I swear it's not sad.
Oh, it's incredibly sad, but we're going to run with it anyways. I've never let being pathetic stop me.
Okay. I guess that's it for Raw.
Oh God, we
Yeah, we
still
have
have
to talk
a
about
show
another
to
show,
talk
don't
about.
we?
Yeah, there's SmackDown still, which is
Uh,
less exciting. I really don't know how to
nobody's
describe.
dragged into hell.
Yeah, nobody's dragged into hell. I don't think they're going to top that. But we pretty much we start with a
Never
match.
know.
Well, there is a recap of what happened to Randy Orton, and Jesus Christ, the music that they were playing in the background of these promos, it sounded like Jesus had died.
Yeah, I know they're really trying to turn this into a tear-jerking kind of moment.
We saw the man
Randy
running
Orton
down the stairs.
We know this has happened a zillion times before, but this time was for Super Serial, you guys.
But yeah, our first
Seriously,
match.
someone gets thrown down the stairs like once a fucking month.
But
They spread it a little better than that.
yeah, but we go into our first match, which is Cody Rhodes versus Booker T for the Intercontinental title. This is I don't want to say it's bad, but it wasn't exactly very good. The match didn't have a lot of flow to it, and mostly because Booker T was not looking good.
It looked like it looked like they were calling a lot of it in the ring. There were a lot of those moments where you see like them go back into a corner and it looks like they're whispering or calling a spot in each other's ear or something like that. So I think that's part of what was kind of awkward about it was that it wasn't called on the fly. It was called on the fly, and it probably didn't work in the match's favor that it was called on the fly because it looked like there were times when Cody was calling it, and then there were times when Booker was calling it, and it just looked awkward.
Yeah.
At any rate, I liked the match. I didn't really have a problem with it. I didn't really think it was like not good. I thought it was a fine match, but I'll agree that there were some awkward moments.
Yeah.
I don't have much of an opinion.
Eh. Yeah, this match happened. Cody wins, of course, because they're not putting the belt on Booker.
No, this
It
is
would have been. Well, I was about to say it would have been interesting if they did, but no.
Yeah.
It would have been fucking stupid.
Yeah, it would be like putting the belt on Lawler at the Royal Rumble or something.
Anyways, after that, we get a segment backstage of Cody Rhodes talking to Curly from the Street Stooges. I mean Dustin Rhodes. Excuse me, people. I get those two confused.
Leave Goldust alone.
He looks like Curly without the makeup.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't. He just
I
looks
can
like
see it.
Goldust without the makeup. Don't you humor him.
I've never seen him without the makeup. This was fucking weird.
I know.
And it was all I could think about.
I just want to see him go.
I hope that's something that gets less weird over time.
That was uncalled for.
I don't care.
Goldust is not amused.
The reason why I'm not amused is they're making a Three Stooges movie, and I'm sad. So
Yeah.
anything that
Well, the
reminds me of
less
that
said
makes me
about that, the
sad.
better.
Mm.
But the whole point of this is that Cody's trying to get himself over as a heel by basically burying Goldust and even burying his father in the process.
I think that was just the step too far. It's just like,
Cody,
you're not better than your dad yet.
I like you, and I don't think you're ever going to be as good as your dad was because he was something special.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the weird thing when these second generation guys come in and talk about how they're going to be better than their father. It's always kind of that situation where it's like, do you understand how fucking, like, even in kayfabe terms, you understand how fucking good your parent was? Like,
That said, though, it's entirely possible. You know, well, maybe not for Cody, I don't know. But it's possible to become better than your parents. It just sort of depends.
it
But
depends on the person.
that's something to be decided at the Hall of Fame. Just if everybody makes it, I don't know. It's definitely not something that they should be saying outright.
Yeah.
Mostly because that's the kind of thing that, one, will end up being somewhat subjective, and two, as some wrestlers, Hulk Hogan, have proven, sometimes it's more important about how famous you are.
Yeah. But we move on from this to Zack Ryder in Teddy Long's office, and basically he says that he was glad to be assistant to Teddy Long, but because he's United States champion, he can't do it anymore. But he's found a replacement, and then we get Teddy. It's Drew McIntyre. Yes, Drew McIntyre is back again, and oh, this is gonna get depressing because Teddy Long is like, oh, you got this guy playing?
And Zach's like,
Yeah, good.
are you fucking kidding me? No. I have this guy. And in walks Santino.
Oh.
That's kind of sad when Zack Ryder is just all like, "That Yahoo? No."
No, I got
Santino.
this Yahoo.
It's just like,
This guy
oh,
is even
ow.
less of a joke. He's not a comedy character.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it basically boils down to, hey, Teddy, weren't you going to fire him if he lost last week? And Drew's like, shut up! Shut up. And
He's old, he might forget.
Teddy tells Drew that he's basically got, he's getting a second shot, but if he blows it again, he's on really thin ice. And he makes a match of Santino Marella versus Drew McIntyre. If Santino wins, he gets to be Teddy's new assistant. And Drew says, well, what do I get if I win? And Teddy's like, you don't get canned.
It was basically a job on a pole match, but two separate jobs and no pole.
So, they suddenly Oksana makes her required appearance, and nobody cares.
What is the fucking point of this woman?
I don't think
DNA.
Like, when she first started showing up, it's just like, oh, okay, they have a new diva, whatever. No, she just sort of shows up with seductive music, and it's just like, this is the most pointless fucking character I've ever seen. Either do something, wrestling related with her, or she can leave.
She's attracted to old
Let her
black men
manage
with
somebody,
heads.
Christ.
I think I know
apparently
what it
she
is.
likes older men, I guess. Your guess is
It's
as good as mine. I
really
don't really know what
unfair.
you're doing with this. It's a really weird angle. You would think it would be over by now, like we would have known like what the point of it is, but I think mainly it's just an excuse to have Oksana on TV without her having to wrestle.
There has to be a resolution eventually. Put her in the ring, make her a manager, let her fuck Teddy. Something.
You would think that, but WWE is not as smart as cookies, and they're not the sharpest tools in the cookie jar, if you get what I mean. Yes, I realize I said it wrong.
You said that all kinds are wrong.
Yes, I realize I said it wrong. That's the joke.
It's not a good joke.
It's a good joke to me.
Okay, fine. Moving on.
What's next? We get a recap of the 2008 Royal Rumble, and that's the Royal Rumble that Cena won after his triumphant return from whatever injury he had sustained in 2007.
You had a broken fucking neck.
I wasn't watching in 2007, so I don't know.
Mm.
Also, I don't care.
2008. I remember this one because 2007 was.
2007, I think that was the year of his 14-month title reign.
Yeah, so it was somebody else. So 2008 was when Cena won it. Point is, there's a lot of filler on this SmackDown. I'm noticing.
Yeah,
feels like
this was. They had a ton of filler.
So we got backstage to Alicia Fox and AJ.
Filling. Sorry, I'm just making a lot of bad jokes tonight. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's Alicia Fox and AJ Lee. They're talking backstage. Alicia asks how New Year's went, and AJ's like, "Well, things were great for me and Daniel, and he's the quiet and sensitive type, but I'm kind of worried about his match with Big Show." And Alicia's like, "Well, I hope your boyfriend's ego can handle a loss." And Daniel comes in and goes, "Hey, we could talk about my ego because I've been in the Big Show." And nobody seems to have the heart to tell him, "Yeah, but he was already knocked out. You didn't really beat him."
Yeah, you just sort of like jumped on top of him when he was already unconscious.
Yeah, and so Alicia leaves, and Brian asks AJ, "Why the fuck are you friends with her?"
Yeah, this is it's basically a signal they're turning Bryan heel.
I like it. I guess I'm alone.
I don't know. We'll see when he's actually a heel, but I guess I'm just not too crazy about the idea of it just being the fame going to his head, or the power, or however you would describe having a title belt.
Yeah, and so after that, we hear from the fucking Wendy's girl, and how he about being about him insulting Hornswoggle, and that leads into our next match. Oh dear God!
Oh, this was so sad.
You remember once upon a time when I was actually a Heath Slater apologist? What the hell was I thinking?
I don't know, but I hope that
Man, this is some good weed.
whatever psychiatrist you went to really helped you out.
Good God.
This
So
It's an over-the-top rope battle between Hornswoggle and Heath Slater, and Hornswoggle wins. I don't know how. I don't pretend to understand the physics behind it, but he won.
it's not that hard to understand. He was standing firmly on the apron and he yanked him out by his fucking hair. It's a leverage thing. Now, honestly, it was fake, and I'm sure Slater helped, but it's plausible.
Yeah, but as Hornswoggle wins, and immediately afterwards, Slater gets back in the ring and just starts kicking the shit out of Hornswoggle. So, immediately Slater becomes the, fucking face of this feud. And this is ruined by the obviously dastardly heel, Justin Gabriel, who comes out and he beats up Slater and hits him with the 450. Yeah, it was actually a pretty, from what I remember, it was actually a pretty decent leap he did on that 450, dude. because of where Slater was laying. So it looked
He's
like he
getting
was
better.
out there a bit.
He's getting better.
Yeah, but Gabriel and Hornswoggle go celebrate, their dastardly evil tactics, and we got backstage to Hunico telling Teddy that, or telling Ted DiBiase that, he hears, oh, shit, sorry. This is actually going into the next match. Whoops. That was a bloody off. Someone else go. Shut up.
Where are we? I'm confused and scared.
Okay.
Before the
okay.
DiBiase Hunico match.
Yeah, the next match is Ted DiBiase with Hunico, who is accompanied, according to the site I'm reading results from, is accompanied by Camacho and the Bicycle. The Bicycle is a character, apparently.
Well, no,
Considering how
I would
much
imagine that
fucking
that
mention-
is that would be the writer's kind of subtle jab at the fact that they would not shut up about this lowrider bicycle. Like, it was cultural learning time in the WWE.
If the bike had a dick, it would have been sucked.
How can a bicycle even be a lowrider? Because from my understanding, a lowrider is a car with hydraulics on it that is able to ride lower to the ground.
But the bike rides low to the ground. That's why they call it a lowrider.
Yeah, it's
still
designed
stupid.
to be a lowrider, but they were giving they were explaining the origin of this type of bicycle. And it's just like, who gives a shit?
It doesn't make it any less racist, WWE. It really doesn't.
Oh, God.
No.
Like, I came back and we were in the chat, and I was like, is this offensive to anybody else? Like, I try to, like, remember that it's just WWE and it's just fucking wrestling, and it's silly and stupid, and they do... I fucking hate when they do ethnic gimmicks, because they just don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, the thing is, having them come out on the bike, fine, whatever, if you want to go that way.
Cutting a promo.
Talking about it constantly throughout almost through the match, they were talking about this fucking bike. Going into, how such bikes came to be and how it was because, some people, and God, they might have even said the fucking barrio, talking about how, some people couldn't afford the lowrider cars, so they made lowrider bicycles. Like, I don't need a fucking cultural lesson.
And it's all negated by the fact that they have these fucking guys go out and do extremely racist shit, and Camacho, for all intents and purposes that we know, isn't even fucking Hispanic. Congratulations, WWE. You are now fucking worse than TNA. Because they may have made a stable full of Mexicans who aren't actually Mexicans, but at least they're all Hispanic. Fucking dicks. God. At any rate.
I think at this point everyone's been pissed off tonight.
Yeah, I'm angered out. I don't care.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Hunico wins. Move on. Match is not that great. It's whatever.
It happened. It stunk. We go backstage, and Wade Barrett's talking to the medical staff, and we can't hear what he's saying. Probably for the best. So we go to commercial, come back, and Barrett's in the ring, and Barrett brings the barrage. Barrett's in the ring, and he's talking about how, he told the doctors to not bother coming out because, you know what, he'll handle the medical update for Orton tonight. And he basically goes, nah, loser. He's retired forever. I win. And
Seriously, has he not seen this movie before?
Apparently not.
I mean,
No.
the rest of us know how this ends, right?
yeah,
No. He's been too busy playing Call of Duty.
Oh, okay, that explains it.
Barrett mentions that, in less than 4 weeks. The Rumble's going to be in Orton's hometown, and it's ironic because the hometown hero could have eliminated 29 other people to get into the main event, but instead he'll have to sit there with the rest of the plebeians and watch Barrett do it because there's nobody who can beat him. And Sheamus comes out.
That's not ironic. That's a coincidence or sad.
Nobody said Barrett was smart. So
No.
Sheamus comes out and he's like, "Hey fella, what's cracking? You remind me of my great uncle Wilfred." This is not a very good Irish accent, is it?
No.
It's better than anyone I could do. So.
Tough Canuckies. So he's like, Uncle Wilfred loved the sound of his own voice and talking about the fights he won. But he said, Wilfred, he was a simple sheep herder. It was all a fantasy. Just like Barrett, or just like you, Barrett, thinking that you're going to win the Royal Rumble with no problems, fella. And I'm going to be the biggest problem you've got because I'll kick your ass, I tell you what.
Am I the only one who thinks it's kind of fucked up that we bitch about racism and then we have, really bad Irish accents?
I'm sorry.
God.
Do inflect accents to repeat what they fucking say, really?
I'm sorry. Okay, anyway, Sheamus is like, look, my Uncle Wilfred, he was kicked in the head. That was Wilfred's excuse. What the fuck is yours?
Well, this gets stupid because who comes out next but Jinder Mahal? Why are they still putting this man on TV?
Speaking of further racism.
Yeah, when did he start wearing a turban to the ring? Like, the music was bad enough, but now he's just coming out in a turban. What the fuck? The only explanation I have is that actually at one point when you get a close-up of him, it looks like he has, like, really bad burn on the side of his head.
I think they just
I don't know if anyone's ever... Obviously, that's not what it's hiding because he takes the fucking thing off, but did anyone else notice that it looks like he has a really bad, like, something on the side of his head? It's like a rash or a burn or something. It was, like, bright fucking red.
I don't think it's anything like that. I think they just want to fucking have him wear a turban.
Yes, because the music and the coat, that was just way too subtle.
Yeah.
India!
So, yeah, it turns into everybody beats up Sheamus.
Actually,
yeah,
it comes out of this. It's something they're going to start hyping for next week. Jinder Mahal versus Sheamus, because, we really need to know that that's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
I don't get why they're pushing Jinder. I don't understand. He's not interesting. He's not good in the ring. I very rarely like it when WWE brings someone up and buries them, but in this case, I was completely fine with it. I was like, yeah, you want to bury that guy? Sure, be my guest.
You know what? I'd almost be okay with them wanting to hype this if only this match hasn't happened 3 other times already. I just broke your minds, didn't I?
Yeah, I was not aware of that. What the fuck?
Happened 3 other times.
They've wrestled at least 3 times before.
I thought it was DiBiase, but oh god. Jinder Mahal's matches are just blending together into a massive suck.
Is that at all surprising?
No, but it's still happening. Scary.
I just want it to be better.
I'm done talking about SmackDown. SmackDown didn't to me. Oh God! All right. Next match.
We're almost there.
Santino Marella versus Drew McIntyre.
It actually doesn't end the way you think it's gonna win.
I know.
It was still really short, but it could have been a lot shorter. It could have also been a lot longer.
Yeah, it's funny. The only noteworthy thing is that Santino wins with the Cobra, but McIntyre sells it like he took a taser to the spine. Like, I know it's supposed to be like a move that stuns you, but damn, I think Shawn Michaels from SummerSlam 2005 would tell you to tone it down.
So yeah, Santino wins. He's now the new assistant to Teddy Long, and Drew McIntyre is kind of screwed.
He goes
Yeah.
back and isn't this the segment where he goes into the back and just starts screaming at Teddy Long? Please, Teddy! Please don't fire me, Teddy! I know I need to live a living hell, but don't fire me!
You can't do this to me, Teddy.
Uh,
I should be
Teddy
able.
We're
basically
not
goes,
being racist.
"Look."
They have accents.
I should be able to do a Scottish accent. I am Scottish. God damn it!
It doesn't work that way.
And my last name is Irish, so there.
Meh. Teddy basically tells Drew, "Look, you've lost twice now. I signed you to a big effing contract. You shape up, or if you lose next week, your ass is gone. Like, period. No more. Oh, you get one more chance. No, this is your last chance. Don't fuck up next week." And Santino comes in. And he's like, Teddy, I'm so happy I get to be your manager. Air trumpet, do 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 do. And shit happens. Rosa mentions there's a thing on Rosa, and I don't care. Next match is Epico and Primo against Evan Bourne and Kofi Kingston.
Rosa is hot. That's all you need to know.
God
Yeah.
damn, that woman cannot stop moving her hips.
Oh, so we're racist and sexist tonight. That's great.
What?
Awesome night for DarkMatch.
I didn't tell her to do that. You talk to whoever's booking this shit about that. I'm just trying to enjoy.
She is a very lovely young lady.
Though I
Don't
must
tell my girlfriend I said that.
I
because
must
she'll
say
get
this
mad.
this music that they have for Epico and Primo is just the most generic Latin music they could have found.
They could have
But
found
Rosa is
worse.
hot.
Good point. Anyways, this was a damn good match, if only because all four guys involved are very talented. Although we were actually having an interesting discussion about Evan Bourne during this match, that he is pretty much on his way to being the next Paul London.
That's sad.
Yeah, for those of you not aware, Paul London was employed with the WWE, I think from like 2005 to 2008,
Something like that.
around that time, and the man was very mistreated beyond his initial run, beyond his tag team with Brian Kendrick, and to this day has still not truly gotten back his passion for the business because of the way things went in WWE. And I really do not want that to happen to Evan Bourne.
Well, apparently Stephanie likes him, so that's something.
Yeah. So it was actually a pretty decent match. I mean, there's not much else really to say. I think it's probably safe to say that this was match of the night, or would that go to something else? Just because of it.
Well,
Sucked
what
to
other
lose.
matches would there have been?
Well, we got how many more matches? Damn, there's a lot of matches.
More.
Yeah, there's two more. Damn, there were a lot of matches, but a whole lot of nothing matches.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
We keep talking about the show, and I'm like, I watched this, and I realized shit happened, but nothing
I
happened.
didn't think it was this long.
Yeah, it was just a lot of fucking filler.
Yeah.
Even the matches, even the good matches, just like, it happened.
Yeah. Anyways, Epico and Primo win after Evan Bourne misses the shooting star press. We go back to Matt Stryker, who's interviewing the Big Show, and they're talking about the match. And Brian enters and says that I'm a good wrestler, and and you act like it isn't that isn't something to be proud of. I've worked my entire life to be a great wrestler, and
He's like, I'm not a freak like you. I'm
I,
not a freak like you. If I had your size and your strength and your skills, it, if I no, I think it's like if I had your size and my skills, it wouldn't have been 9 years between my world championship, between my championships. Just saying. And Show's like, yeah,
Being such a dick, and I love it.
I think I've
Brian really is being a dick.
I think I've given all the shits I'm going to give for this show.
Yeah.
And Show's like,
And yeah,
Joe just puts his
Bryan
hand on.
being a dick is somewhat interesting. I just wish he could have stayed face because I want to cheer for him.
That might be part of my problem, but it also might be is that I don't know if it works for him that well. It really does just come off as, I don't know. It just doesn't seem to work for me.
I think it's because I always thought that, like, I don't like Daniel Bryan in the face. I think he's a good, like, blue chipper guy. But I always kind of felt like he would be better as a heel. He was a good heel in the Indies, and I always thought he would be better as a heel than he ever could be as a face, particularly in the WWE, because, well, faces in the WWE are fucking boring. The heels are the interesting characters, and the faces, for the most part, are all white hats who aren't that fucking interesting. So,
Yeah.
to me, it was always a thing where I kind of wanted him to turn heel. It was just a matter of what kind of heel they would turn him into. If they would, to excuse the phrase, turn him into like a Benoit-ish kind of heel. But I like that they're doing this with him. That he wins the World Heavyweight Championship, and he's supposed to be all grateful and all this stuff, but winning the championship has clearly just gone to his fucking head. And I kind of like that he's being a dick like that. And maybe I'm just a weirdo, but
No,
I
because
think it's interesting.
the idea of of winning after after so long, especially when a lot of people wouldn't have believed this could ever happen. I like the idea of a face being slowly corrupted. It's just for some reason the process isn't clicking with me. When he does turn heel, and he's going to turn heel, they're not being subtle about it. When he does turn heel, it might work really well, but so far the journey's just not working for me.
That's
But
understandable.
I'm also kind of coming into it very suddenly, so I might warm up to it.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So, moving along, Divas match.
Oh God, there's another match.
Yep.
Moving along.
Natalya versus Tamina.
Tamina wins. Next.
Pretty much.
That's all there is
Raw
to
rebound.
say. There's nothing to this match except that Tamina won. And
Yeah,
we've already talked at length about how Natalya is being treated. No need to rehash that. So let's just get on to the main event because there's a Raw rebound, but no need to talk about that. First, we
We get a
start with Mark
recap,
Henry.
a recap with a recap.
We start with Mark Henry coming out to the commentators table because that'll be interesting to hear. And this is our main event: Big Show versus Daniel Bryan for the World Heavyweight Title. Raw. This is what you do. You have your big important title match as the main event. What?
See,
Nothing.
what you're saying makes too much sense, Backlash.
But this is the company
And to
that
be
sometimes
to
tries
be
to.
honest, they do that for a reason. To they need to spike the 10 o'clock hour ratings somehow, so that's why they do it. So there is a method to that kind of madness ish.
It's still stupid.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Most things done in the name of ratings are really fucking stupid.
Oh,
ask
hi,
Eric
Truth.
Bischoff. But yeah,
Anyway,
this is a pretty. It was an okay. It was actually an okay match. I mean, wasn't expecting. I was, you're not really expecting, a technical masterpiece. But at one point, Brian gets Show into the bell lock. I was like, because that's one of those things that I don't think he ever really saw. He who must not be mentioned ever do was get a big guy into the crossface. So
He did it a couple times on show and Kane and
Yeah.
stuff.
And really, Big Show just kind of throws him off with one arm and gets right back up. So he barely sold it.
he sold
He
it
was
for
like,
a bit and then he
"Ow!"
got out of it.
Yeah.
That was mildly annoying.
The thing is, I really liked the psychology of this match. The fact that Brian goes in just being like, I can fucking take him. I did it before. How do you think I got this belt? I got this in the bag. And every time, there was at least 2 times where he's on his ass outside the ring going, oh
Holy
God,
shit.
oh God, what have I done? What have I gotten myself into? I'm screwed. I loved that. That is the one thing about his heel turn, the way they have him turning heel that I love, is that they had that moment where he honestly realizes that, yeah, his ego is getting bigger than he is.
Eh.
And I love that. It's just like, yes, you are doomed, little man. Think quick.
Yeah.
You are
And
doomed.
honestly, his
Doomed.
solution was fucking brilliant.
yeah, because Henry goes over to gets him, or Brian gets up and Henry's sitting at the announce table going, "Get back on the
actually,
ring!"
it's worth noting that Mark Henry has been shouting at Daniel Bryan anytime he ducked out of the ring. It's like, get back in the ring!
Yeah, making comments about how I think Brian rolled out of the ring to get away from get away from Big Show to dodge something, and Henry's just like, "See, I'd never do that. I wouldn't roll out of the way, and that's why you lost because you're too stupid to know when you have to move."
Too stupid to dodge.
Yeah.
Why
So,
did you dodge?
Oh, we're
um,
gonna get sued.
yeah. So Henry's like, "Get back in the ring, bitch!" And Brian goes, "Make me, asshole!" So Henry pushes Brian over. He gets up, and Brian looks at the ref and goes, "Hello, you saw
Brian
this,
looks at
right?"
the ref and is just like, "Ref, dude,
Uh,
And the ref is like, son of a
got a
bitch.
point.
Yeah, ring the fucking bell. The ref looks so put out. It's just like, really? I got a DQ because he shoved you a little. Fine. Rules
So,
are rules.
Yes,
Ring
it's
the fucking
technically
bell.
against the rules, but man, you're acting like a bitch.
It's just like, really? We have so much better DQs in this business. Can he hate you with something first?
So, anyway, Show's pissed off, and Brian's like, "Yeah, I retained my title, woo!" And the crowd's like, "Yeah."
Like, yeah, you retained your
You're
title.
turning into a douchebag, and that was stupid.
But that's pretty much SmackDown.
Yeah, I think we can see Big Show Henry match at some point.
A
over
Big Show
this.
versus Daniel Bryan versus Mark Henry. It's coming.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you know
match.
what? The reason
don't-
I kind of view him as Miz 2.0 is because Henry and Show are just going to be feuding with each other. It'll be like a triple threat match. They're just going to be feuding with each other, and Daniel Bryan's going to be trying so hard to get involved, and they're just going to ignore the fuck out of him.
So,
I think we're pretty much done here. Let's just move into what gets more screen time than John Morrison. And I'll start. The blatant fire extinguishers to put out the fire when Kane blew up the ring got more screen time than John Morrison.
yeah.
The
The
blatant
set-
racism got more screen time than John Morrison.
Deadly Stairs got more screen time than John Morrison.
Filler.
Filler.
Filler got more screen time than John Morrison.
Yeah, that I. All right, that will do it for now. This has been the Dark Match. For all of us here, I am your Foxy friend Backlash.
I'm Duo's Angel.
I'm Lone Warrior.
And I am No Leaf Clover. Good night and good luck.